did Jesus become incarnate and thus redeem all of nature? Does that mean he redeems the aliens too? How does he redeem alien nature if he took on human nature? What did I say? Arthur C. Clarke and NASA and Brookings Institute working together in 1968 to craft an alien psyop. 1960, Brookings Institute, commissioned by NASA, stated that the effects of discovery of ET life would be profound. Fundamentalists of all religious traditions would find it electrifying. It would have the potential of far-reaching consequences, especially amongst Christianity, where it is a social force. In particular, it's a ticking time bomb for the doctrine of the incarnation. The public's perception would be destroyed. Not only would the idea of the incarnation itself come under review, the whole of Christian ideas about God's plan of salvation would be severely problematized. Dr. Holroyd wrote, the Christian religion would be compromised because ET life means that the incarnation as a historical event and the knowledge of the person of Christ and his passion, ascension, atonement, etc., would either have to maintain the incarnation and crucifixion happen on innumerable worlds, which is the Origenist view, or they would have to update everything and there would be a problem for divine providence and divine theology. In 1960, they were discussing the alien psyop, the revelation that space brothers, fake and gay space brothers, you got a homosexual uncle, cousin, right? I'm talking about your gay space brother, dude. Gay space brother, won't you come down from up on high? Gay space brother, won't you come down from up on high and touch my cheeks? Touch my glutes from on high. Touch my glutes from on high in the sky. Gay space brother, won't you come down and slap them cheeks? Can I get up? Slap on the cheek, yeah. Can I get up? Slap on the butt cheek, yeah. 'Cause a gay space brother, he's gonna come down and find you. Jamie's in there cracking up. I don't know whether I was going in the direction of a country song and then it turned into like an inward, a wigger spiritual, a wegroid spiritual. Gay space brother, gonna come down from the mountain high. I said, gay space brother, he's gonna redesign your interior. Gay space brother, he's gonna clap them cheeks like. That's one of the hymns of Wigxanthium. Psych. Can you make it clap? I did. That's what it means, right? Isn't that what that means? I know a lot of rappers are fans of clapping. I mean, a lot of, rappers get a lot of flack. They get a lot of negative press, right? All I see is them wanting you to do, just clap, and they just want applause. When they say make it clap, as far as I can tell, they're just asking for applause. I don't know what y'all on about. Gay space brother, come down from the mountain. Gay space brother. He's going to do your interior designing. Anyway, enough joking around. Stop being so ridiculous. There you have it. That is from an academic text, not a conspiracy book. Brenda Denzler's book on the UFO phenomena and alien cults. And it's everything that we talked about. Now, isn't this providential because they just canonized within the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia jurisdiction Father Seraphim Rose as a saint. So ROCOR has decided, yes, we do affirm that he was a man of sanctity. And what was one of the first podcasts that I don't want to say the first. We did a podcast on this 10 years ago on orthodoxy and the religion of the future. And we talked about the warnings about the fake and gay alien invasion, the demonic alien phenomena. Let's see. Gay Space Brothers. Here we go, right here. This is Jay Dyer. I was still using that old ass song back then. Oh, this isn't even a video. Look at this. This is just audio. 10 years ago. Look at that. 10 years ago, we covered this book. And we talked about what was coming. We talked about the fake and gay alien invasion. Not only that, some of the first podcasts that I ever did on YouTube was Collins Brothers, the fake and gay alien invasion 11 years ago. Look at this. Look at this.
And he basically let us know without going into great depth.
So this is 11 years ago with a phone interview. Straight up ancient, archaic skills there. Phone interview with the Collins brothers on fake and gay alien invasion. Now, for those that don't know, we just had, you wouldn't know this, but I just did a podcast with Eddie Bravo yesterday. I went back on Eddie Bravo's podcast, and the whole section, the whole last half of it was about UFO alien stuff because of this disclosure. They're going to disclose the existence of extraterrestrial craft and perhaps life. Trump, signed that some months back, the Disclosure Act, right? And I just want to point out that we've been consistently for over a decade, you can see here, warning and saying that this would be a large-scale social engineering fake and gay psyop. Now, that doesn't mean that I think everything about the phenomena is fake. There are advanced technologies. There are advanced drone craft that they keep secret. The Pentagon has all kinds of stuff like that. They use the alien smokescreen cover at one level just to deflect from experiments with that type of advanced technology. But there's also an unexplainable phenomena that does occur, and even some of the famous, longtime, non-Christian people in the Pentagon and the deep state that worked on this stuff, like Jacques Vallée, they describe it as an interdimensional evil force. They don't say demonic because Jacques Vallée isn't really a Christian. He was a Rosicrucian, but he was a computer scientist and it was at different levels working in these sort of deep state intelligence capacities and research and development. And Jacques Vallée, upon whom the character, the scientist character in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, played by Francois Truffaut, that character is based on Jacques Vallée. So even Spielberg, when he made Close Encounters, was basing some of the characters and some of this on purportedly, real world events and researchers. Now, I'm not saying Close Encounters is real. What I'm saying is that he includes the real elements and then turns it into a massive propaganda piece for the existence of alien life. And lo and behold, what is coming up in a few months? What amazing timing that your boy Steve Spielbergstein would be releasing a movie at the exact same time as the establishment's disclosure. It's just accident, though. There's no way that could be timed the same, right? And we have Emily Blunt as a news reporter, and she's up there, talking about the weather, yabbity yap. And then lo and behold, aliens break through the transmission and they mess with our minds because I guess they can do mind control, which is ironically what the establishment itself does. So it's almost like aliens are perhaps a development out of MK Ultra. And then the aliens do the classic alien clicking. I don't know who first put aliens clicking, but I'm tired of it. Every movie since the 90s has aliens clicking. Why are aliens clicking? Maybe they rap. Maybe they talk like Curtis Blow. Maybe they talk like an 80s rapper. Who knows? We don't know. But why is every movie presenting them this annoying ass click? Cash Money right here. He says, it's coming, buddy. It's the aliens is coming.
Age of Disclosure.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, you're busy. You have a full-time job. I'm more and more convinced that probably, and my faith tells me, we have universes within universes. There's no limit to God's imagination.
Yeah, your weird Roman Catholic faith itself doesn't tell you that. Maybe it does. Maybe his weird Roman Catholic faith tells him that there are worlds, millions of worlds within worlds. That's quantum gibberish, dude. What are you talking about? That's actually Talmudic, bro. The Talmud teaches that there's 186,000 worlds. So alien stuff is actually also Talmudic.
So the idea that there would be life on other planets that may be visited here that would not at all shock or surprise me. Have you ever looked into it?
We're looking at it. Here's the thing. Again,
okay, I want all the details.
Here's the thing. Every other president before President Trump could have said, hey, let's look at that and get the American people the information. What did he do? He stood up an interagency process with Department of War leading that effort to get out the documentation related to everything that you're talking about, not just from the FBI, from the IC and everywhere else. And so what do? We already delivered our first tranche of information to that committee, and they're going to be publicly releasing this information very soon. We are all for it. There's nothing in this subject that we're talking about that we don't want released. Our job at the FBI is to work with the White House and DOW.
So notice you've been told by the normie conspiracy low tier world that the government is covering up alien existence. They're covering up the phenomena. They don't want us knowing the truth, but the truth is out there, right? As if we're all, Mulder and Scully out here at a basic bitch level we're going to figure out the truth and we're going to expose the government for covering up the aliens. But here is the government now saying, we want you to know and we want you to believe in the aliens. What are you talking about?
Give them the information and then they're going to put that out in a methodical process. And you're going to start seeing those releases literally happening in the very near future. We just met on it.
So religious leaders told, prepare now for UFO disclosure to unleash Bible-changing revelations.
Again, what did I warn you? What did I tell you? And Father Seraphim Rose did way before I did, obviously. But what did I put when I dug up that Brookings Institute paper? I told you that they will use this deception on a mass scale to replace the Western biblical tradition and move us into a new ideological tradition. What is that new ideology? Well, anything that's compatible with New Age, with transhumanism, with the idea of everything being an emergent flux sort of property, that you can have new life forms popping into existence. AI will perhaps be called conscious. In fact, Richard Dawkins just said that he thinks that it's possible that AI is conscious now. And that's just based on his own materialistic definition of what consciousness is. I mean, by that definition, you could then elastically expand it to make anything you can make, because the calculators are therefore now conscious based on these weird elastic definitions. So here you have in 1960, a white paper from the Brookings Institute, which is one of the top think tanks up there with Rand Corporation, Carnegie Foundation, Ford Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, Soros Foundation. Same type of entity, Brookings Institute, right? Brookings Institute put the paper out a while back that we would go to war against Iran for Israel, right? The paper for the Pathway to Persia paper that everybody's been talking about. That's the same institute that in 1960, okay, people got to understand presidents aren't calling the shots. Maybe to a small degree, they have a limited amount of power. Think tanks, NGOs, and foundations call the shots. They policy plan. They are the steering committees that steer us in the direction that the real power elite want to go. The power elite do not care if you believe in, they don't care about your conspiracy theories. They want you to believe that aliens exist. That's what I'm trying to say. I think, by the way, that this was a deception. My assessment, my opinion is that this is a deception all the way back to the Majestic 12, right? Majestic 12 was itself a kind of a conspiracy saying that there's a cover-up of alien existence and craft and phenomena. But MJ12 gave the impression of the cover-up, which was the normal sort of basic bitch boomer conspiracy theory for like decades. And now suddenly, and it's, by the way, it has to be under a boomer. It has to be under Boomer Trump and his MAGA cult that they have the release of the alien nonsense, because the boomers are still largely in control. It's not totally given over to the Gen X yet. And so the boomers are the ones that are all going to fall for this, because there's two classic boomer conspiracies, JFK and aliens. Nobody cares about JFK, but everybody now supposedly is supposed to care about aliens. Although I'm not exactly sure that enough people care about this. Maybe they do. But the problem is that the government has lied forever. People kind of have figured out the government lies forever. Oh, but they're going to now tell us the truth about aliens. What are you talking about? This is so, you got to be so stupid to believe this, right? Just on the face of it, right? So there's a deeper level to this, which includes all of these suspicious, super sus black ops people come out of what's called the aviary, people involved in defense technology, people involved in actual psychological warfare, John B. Alexander, people involved in non-lethal technologies, people involved in the CIA's black ops throughout the world and are part of this. And we're supposed to believe them. I'm not talking about whistleblowers. I'm talking about people in the establishment. Okay. It's total boomer slop, right? I mean, this is the conspiracy equivalent of Pastor Sheikh Jonathan Shelley, right? Sheikh Jonathan Shelley, as we saw, was perhaps the stupidest person I've ever debated. Right there with Misfit Patriot, Not So Erudite. Same tier. And the boomer conspiracy narrative about aliens is that tier. It's that level, right? No critical thinking, fuzzy, blurry videos for freaking 50, 60 years when we got everybody has a 1080 camera on their phone. And now, by the way, with AI, like that's all ruined anyway, because now any image could potentially be AI. So, or video. So I'm not sure what the logic is, except, again, it has to, I think, be perhaps still during the reign of the boomer, right? The only way that this could work is in the reign of Boomer Supreme. Somebody should make a cartoon of ye Lord Boomer Supreme. I guess it could just be Trump. Trump could be Lord Boomer Supreme the first. And that's why we're getting all this rolled out when... because the boomer slop, they eat this shit up, dude. They eat this shit up. And they can't even recognize, as everybody knows, like when something's AI, right? I seen baby Netanyahu floating over Israel on a video. That's got to be God's miracle. That's got to be the Lion of the tribe of Judah holding up a baby. He was floating in the air, levitating. He was Eugene levitating. That's got to be a sign. It's got to be a sign. I seen it. And then you're like, no, Grandma, that was AI. What's that? No, that ain't AI. I seen Trump. Trump had giant. He was benching 600 pounds on a video. How could they fake that? How could they fake that? Dude, in the Mirageman video, they were talking about faking alien videos in the 70s and 80s. What are you talking about? And by the way, when they fake the alien, they don't even try when they fake the alien videos. They look like Mystery Science Theater episodes.
Mail. Other headlines. Trump's alien files could shatter Christian beliefs. Churches should prepare for it, claims pastors. Well,
exactly what I said, dude. I seen it in the AI video. Bob Lazar has been caught in numerous lies about what he supposedly saw and what he supposedly claimed about the craft and the reverse engineered technology. And again, we don't get any of that with Kiriakou. We get consistent stories, stuff that backs up the research that I've done, all the high-tier geopolitical texts that we've covered. In that 2-hour interview, we kind of went down the line asking John about the big stuff, and everything he says, yeah, that agrees with what I say, right? Well, I'm not just saying that, as you guys know, that's based on the big writings of the elite stuff. The elite push the idea of alien bullcrap to give us a new ideology for the West, get us away from the biblical stuff, something more amenable to a global order, something amenable to a one world currency, a controlled one world religion, right? All the stuff that these people, not Orson Welles, H.G. Wells actually wrote about.
To hide it from the president. The president is, after all, a figurehead for the corporations that run all of the NGOs who are manipulating our government right now.
What? Well, he's actually correct about that. So he said one true thing.
Now, we're in a very precarious situation. We've got to get serious about this election coming up, but I don't want to get into that. We got into that on Flashpoint last night. Here's what Trump had to say in response to what President Obama had to say. Take a look at this.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake.
Barack Obama.
He gave classified information. Read that to us, Evan. Is that
okay? So this is from Donald J. Trump. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, and unidentified.
Now, I'm playing this goofball because he claims that he was brought into this meeting, right, with all the pastors, thousands of pastors, debriefed, supposedly. Now, I'm saying supposedly because we don't know if this guy was actually brought in, right? Who knows? Because it's all like hearsay, and now you've got that Daily Mail even saying religious leaders told to prepare now for the UFO disclosure, which will lead to unrest or unleash Bible changing revelations. Slip Nubster $10. Jay, could you please elaborate why it would be a problem for Christianity if aliens existed? Well, first of all, there's no reason to believe aliens exist. At least I've never heard any convincing argument. I've studied this and read about this for many, many, many years. So if there is some good argument or reason to believe in aliens, feel free to bring it forward. I've never seen anything good, argument-wise, evidence-wise, that didn't fit into the domain of psyop, didn't fit in the domain of deception, didn't fit in the domain of hoax, or perhaps some sort of demonic activity. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, there's nothing in divine revelation or in the teaching of the church and the church fathers to believe that there would be alien life. There are celestial beings and celestial intelligences that we call angels. So you've got angels and you got demons, and then you've got life on earth. In terms of other entities out there, well, we'd have to, it would relate to the incarnation. Well, did Jesus become incarnate and thus redeem all of nature? Does that mean he redeems the aliens too? How does he redeem alien nature if he took on human nature? And the way that he redeems all reality through Adam's nature is because Adam was supposed to be the steward of all created order. That's why the whole universe was affected by Adam's fall. So if aliens are a other type of being, it just doesn't make first. And furthermore, the idea of aliens and alien worlds, that's a Talmudic teaching that there's 186,000 worlds. It's in the Talmud. So we would reject it out of hand right there. It usually goes along with pagan stories. The gods come from other planets and they come and land. So the ancient aliens nonsense is a pagan idea, nothing to do with what's in divine revelation or the teaching of the church. If you go to the modern origins of the idea of alien life, it comes from a guy named Jacob Halevi, who was a Gnostic guy. We did a whole interview with the Collins brothers on this a couple of years ago when their book came out, and they did a whole bunch of really in-depth research about where in modern history does the alien nonsense come from.